Hello guys, good morning. It's me Success. This is your trade recap as always. Every Saturday is for trade recap. So this is definitely to check and analyze what we did the week that just ended. So let's jump into it quickly. So as you can clearly see, here is my GBPUSD from my 1 hour time frame, but I want to quickly go to my 4 hour so we then understand the overall of what price has done for the week that just closed. So if you clearly and been watching and been following my page, you definitely understood when I said I was looking to going for a buy. I was looking for a retest, a break above the previous high looking left that was broken by price. And then what happened? Price eventually broke, created a new high, and then we saw a retest on the previous left looking left on the recent high looking left, which is this level here, this is the high looking left. So we saw price broke above it, and what did we say again? We saw complete market structure, a retest on this level looking left, and then we expected a new high was formed. So for me, eventually, as you can clearly see from that day, definitely got the TP being smashed. I posted the video about that as well. Go watch those video and understand and grasp what it's all about. So from here, let me then fall down to the 15 minutes. So from the 15 minutes, let me show you exactly how the trade was executed on the 15 minutes. So from the 15 minutes, you can clearly see that price eventually hit the take profit from this level. I've already posted a video explaining this, that this was the first entry position, and then this definitely was the second position if price intended to come down to this level. So this was the first position, the entry position, and you can clearly see this was definitely Monday, and then TP definitely was hit around Tuesday as well. Tuesday. So eventually, this was what happened on GBPUSD. So what I was also anticipating, based on market structure, I was expecting market to eventually continue the uptrend, continue the uptrend. That's why from this level, you saw when price eventually put back to this level. So I tend to follow this buy opportunity as well. Like I also went in for a buy from this level. I think that would be around Wednesday. So I wanted definitely I entered from this level, risking 29.2 because I wanted price or I was expecting price to create a new high, like form a new high based on market structures. So I was expecting market to continue the uptrend based on market structure. So what I discovered was then market failed to create enough significant highs. It fails to create enough significant highs from this level. So here is my 4 hour. That's how I'm definitely bringing the 4 hour. So you can grasp perfectly based on how I trade. My trade is based on sections, it's based on higher time frames. So it's not just random trades or random analysis. No. It starts from 4 hour being a day trader for me. It starts for 4 hour and then 1 hour being my intermediate and then 15 minutes for my execution. So eventually from the 4 hour time frame you can clearly see that from this level, I expected market to at least continue the uptrend from this level. So, if you can clearly see from this level where I definitely entered the second position, I was expecting to see price bounce up this level and then continue creating new highs. But market definitely could not do that. What happened? Market then came below and then that was it on GBPUSD. So this GBPUSD so far, for me, I'm not going to conclude yet that it's definitely a sell market. I'm not going to conclude because the reason why I'm saying that is because you can clearly see that price eventually here. Let me highlight this level as well. You can clearly see that from this level, which is support level, market definitely did not break the support level significantly. As you can see, the support level is being held. So that's why I'm telling you that I'm definitely going to be watching patiently to see eventually what's going to happen. So you can see from this level that support level is still valid. The support level is still valid because the support level has not been broken. The support level has not been broken. You can see looking left here was the high, here was the high, but this is a weak rejection. So here is the high, but you can see that From looking left and where price came back to, this level of support has not been broken. This level of 1.34000 has not been broken by price. So all I'm going to do is just to be patient. Yes, the market has closed. There is no opportunity right now because the market has closed, but eventually we're definitely going to see what the market is going to do by the time it opens officially on Monday as well. But for me, I'm definitely going to be watching this level closely to see. Like I always say, if this level of support is broken by price, then I'm gonna wait for a pullback into this level, into this level of support. Now it's gonna turn resistance. So I'm definitely tend to open or watch price eventually from this level, and then what am I gonna be doing? I'm gonna be positioning for a sell. I'm gonna be positioning for a sell. So that's definitely what I'm discussing and all what is all about. So until I see price eventually break this level significantly, then I'm gonna go in at the retest of this level. At the retest of this level. Remember, here was a support. Here was a support at 1.34000. So there is a support level at this level here, which I've just mentioned. But I haven't seen price break it significantly. I haven't seen price broken this level. So until I see price break this level, then I'm going to then position for a sell at the retest of that same support level. Remember, if it breaks down, it's no longer going to be a support. It's going to act as resistance to drive the market to the downside, to give the sellers opportunity to go in for a set trade. So that's literally what I'm waiting for on GBPUSD. So until the market is officially open by Monday, I'm not going to definitely do anything because the market is closed already. All I can do is to do my analysis as always and then wait for market to eventually open. So that was it on GBPUSD. And let's quickly go into gold because gold definitely had more trade on gold. So if you remember very well, like I said also on GBPUSD, that same day I was buying. And after marking the high, as you can clearly see, it's been labeled low of the week. You can see it's been labeled high of the week. So what happened? So from this level, that day on Monday as well, let me go to the 15 minutes so you can clearly see. So from that day being Monday, I then said I was still bullish on gold. I was bullish on gold because of market structure as well. Because of market structure. Okay, let me head to my 4 hour. So because of market structure, that's what I saw on gold that made me go in for a buy. And as you can clearly see from this level, definitely was risking more in terms of SL, was risking around 20, 22 pips or thereabout. But what happened? Why this trade was definitely moving in my direction, when I saw market eventually the bullish candles, I eventually tightened my risk and reduced it from 29 or 22 to 8.9. So you can clearly see it took that was around before I tightened my stop loss, it was 3.3 or 3.34 risk ratio reward. So from how I tightened, you can clearly see the risk ratio reward jumped from 3 point something to 11.25 risk ratio reward. And you can clearly see the TP was being hit and smashed here. So what happened again? I then told myself that I'm going to then go in for a buy trade once I see price retest of this level. Once I see price retest of this level. That was what I told myself based on market structure, based on technical analysis and price action. So I was waiting to see price retest of this level. And what happened? On this level, I wasn't that patient because I definitely was waiting for price. I just went in straight up. So I went in straight up because I saw that market eventually was going to go to the upside at the retest of that level. But all I needed to do was just a little bit patient. But it's okay. It's part of the game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose as well. And one of the most important thing is this: my understanding about how markets operate and the psychology behind it as well. That for me, I definitely understand, and it's okay for price to eventually not go according to plan. Remember, the reason why I've been taking or taking trade, it's because of the edge that my structures, my confluences gives me. That's why I've taken those trades, and that's why I do trade. I don't just trade randomly. I trade based on market structures, price actions, and technical analysis as well. Price reveal itself, and then all I need to do is to execute my trade. So if you see from this level, I'm trying to highlight. Yes, the chart, the buy chart is definitely wide based on it's. I had this one for long, only closed yesterday. So you can clearly see the second entry I definitely entered was around this level because of what I just explained, market structure. Here was the second entry to going for a buy trade. That was definitely the second entry. When I saw price pull back here, then that's why you see this buy two here, because I positioned the buy two here and then place the stop loss below this low looking left. So you can clearly see when price eventually went up, well, take profit on this one. Then I saw this, you saw price eventually pull back almost close to SL, almost close to SL being hit. And what happened again? We saw price eventually pushing up and then coming back, and then again pushing back to this entry position. And this place is key. This entry position is key. The retest of this level is key because for me, here it's a very important level because why? Like I always say, whenever I mark out my high and low of the week, price tends to retest of that level. And whenever I see price retest of this level, it's an opportunity and confirmation for me to go in for a buy. So I want you to pay attention to this level. You can clearly see the highlighted level here. Here was the high, or here was where price failed to break. And what happened? We saw price broke above it. And then what happened again? We saw a retest on this level, which confirms also market structure, a pure market structure. Because why? We saw that gold definitely it's always been trading high, but from this level, okay, I want you to understand something. Let's refresh the memory. Let's go back a little bit to definitely understand. I just want to quickly draw from this level. Okay, here is the high. Here is the high that price came to. Here is the high. Remember, this is my 4 hour time frame. Here is the high that price came to. So what happened? What happened? So I want you to pay close attention because you can clearly see looking left, price eventually retested off this level because it's confirming market structure. It's confirming market structure. I'm just showing you this thought process, the brain behind it, the reason why I think this way. So as you can clearly see from the gold, here was the high, and then market came to retest of this support level. Market came to retest of this support level. And remember, here is the high and here is the new low. Higher, here is the higher high, higher low. You can clearly see higher high, higher low. Then we saw a price break above, which is the higher high. Then we saw a higher low. So when I saw this higher low, immediately I understood market structure and I understood why it's definitely going to play out this way because price has eventually retested this market structure looking left. So when I saw this, I knew exactly that market is definitely or tend to create a new high. Market is definitely going to create a new high. So I saw it and then I went in for a buy trade of gold. So yes, the market is officially closed, but for my 4 hour time frame, looking at this level, I know that price eventually is going to create a new high, and then market it's definitely going to come here and retest this level here. Remember, here is my 4 hour time frame. So definitely this is the recent high by price. This level here is the recent high by price. Here is the high, the recent high looking left by price. So what are we saying? I'm seeing price to eventually break above this recent high looking left and bouncing off this level, creating new high around this level, a new high, then expect a pullback from this level down to this level. So this is definitely okay. Let me make it more simple and easier to understand, because yeah, my chat is becoming a little bit clumsy and a lot, but eventually I'm just trying to make sure you grasp what I'm trying to show you on this trade recap. The video is definitely so long, but I just wanted to take this time to eventually show you my thought process, the brain behind it, why I think this way, why I trade this way, why I analyze this way. So let me just quickly get it all sorted out. Okay, so from this level, you can clearly see here is the higher high that was created by price looking left, higher high, higher low here. So what am I expecting? A new high being formed. The new high might arrive at this level, and then we should expect a pullback into this level. We should expect a pullback into this level, then continue with the uptrend. So that's literally basically what I'm looking at for on gold for the week that's definitely going to be opened the next week, because the market is officially closed for this week. So we're definitely going to be expecting this on gold. So that's why I've taken this time to show you guys what happened on the week that just closed and what we're definitely looking at for next week. So on gold, you can clearly see multiple take profit being hit. As you can clearly see here, here is the first entry position and it's hit take profits. We entered around Monday, and then TP was hit around, let me see, around Tuesday as well. TP was hit around Tuesday. So you can clearly see that we are not just guessing trade, we are not just guessing analysis. No, we trade and based on market structures, based on confirmations, based on confluences as well, based on my understanding about technical analysis and price action. And my message based on this recap is definitely to encourage you guys to keep learning, to keep acquiring the skill of trading. There's a lot of potential on trading. There's a lot of money to be made on trading. But at the same time, there's a lot of money to be lost as well. So that's why you need to come into the market with a pure intention, with a pure market structure, with a pure understanding of the market structure, with confirmations, with confluences as well, on how you're going to trade. Don't just come into the market and just place buy or sell. No, you have to have a reasons or see reasons why you definitely buying a pair. You need to have a reason why you're selling a pair. And like you can clearly see, it was labeled high of the week. It was labeled low of the week. I usually mark out my high and low of the week every Monday. And when I mark this out, what does it tell me? This marking of the high and low of the week every Monday gives me the directional bias for the week. If you can imagine now, I marked out this level low of the week and I marked out this level high of the week. From this day I marked it out, what did we see? We saw price kept on pushing higher. We saw price kept on pushing higher. That's because the high of the week and low of the week has given us the directional bias for the week. That's why you always find high of the week and low of the week on my chart, because those are core principles and the confluences I look out for before I take any trade. I usually, the first thing I do when I want to analyze is definitely to come into the market from a Monday, mark out the high of the week, mark out eventually my psychological levels. As you can clearly see, these levels are my psychological levels. They act as support and resistance. So when you tend to like get confused on them if you definitely don't understand or haven't been following me. But these are the confluences I add to my trades. These are the confluences I add to my setup. So that's why you found them on my charts almost all the time, because those are my confluences I do combine to get a better edge on my trade or my pair. So that's why I've taken this time to eventually explain to you guys. And if you do love how I analyze my pairs, how I analyze my trade, how I trade, I want you to hit the subscribe button. I want you to like, comment, so I can keep more and do more of this video. I want you to hit the subscribe button, like for more.